Day 4, Ballindalloch to Craigellachie or Fiddick Park. Now look, from the map it looks as if this day might actually follow the River Spey for much of the way, so hopefully we'll get a good look at the river. It's another fine day, but much more chilly than it's been so far, so I'd better get walking and get warmed up. That proves we're still on the old railway. This bit's been quite gentrified though. And after only a couple of 100 yards we get to cross the River Spey. Rather nice bridge. Difficult to see down there. Well, they really have pushed up the path here. I guess this will be a cycle way. This is a very long stretch of made up path, obviously trying to attract more walkers on this section. Well, this has been a long stretch, but we've nothing to see, but finally we've come to something of interest. Still on the Speyside Way, as you can see, but there's another lovely old station. The trees are opening up now, letting a bit of sunshine through. Still the same old path, but so far it's been quite chilly because there's trees on either side and it's really just like walking down a big avenue. But as you can see, the path is still here. A little bridge here to break up the monotony. And you just see the river down there. And over on that side is the River Spey. Don't get to see it very often. Just passing the distillery. There's not much to see apart from some bland sheds, but there's a glorious smell of whisky along this section. Another bit of interest now. You can hear the river down to the right. And we've got another lovely station. Station, so either the distillery had its own station or it's named after the town or the village. We do with a few more of these stations to break up the monotony of this section. Beautiful. And we're still on the railway. Just about 15 minutes or half a mile or so away from Tamdhu is the Knockandoo distillery. It's not one that I've heard of. They seem to have made use of the old station buildings. This one's not open to the public, but apparently there's another one 15 minutes away. Well, I found a nice place to stop and have a rest right outside the Knockandoo distillery. We're still right on the railway path, and this has been going on for 4.5 miles now of made up railway. It's not unpleasant walking, but it's rather monotonous and a bit sort of tiring and sore on the feet doing the same steps all the time. If somebody made this up because it's the Speyside Way, then I think they made a big mistake. Back down at Nethy Bridge or Cromdale, where the railway's been allowed to grass over, it's much more pleasant walking. If it was like that all the way, this would be a lovely section. But so far, although we've got a few glimpses of the River Spey and past a couple of nice stations, which are very pleasant, it's been a bit of a monotonous day. But it's still a good day, and hopefully we won't stick on this railway all the way to the end. Almost every video I've seen of the Speyside Way has mostly featured people talking to camera like this. And I find that frustrating, and I keep thinking, well, why aren't you showing me the scenery then? And now I understand why. Because a lot of this path is very much the same, and it would sure get boring showing you hours and hours of exactly the same path. I've been going about a good couple of hours now, and the path really hasn't changed. Occasional glimpse of the river, which I can just about hear at the moment, but essentially it's just walking along this made up railway track. And I'm sure you don't want to see half an hour of this. Do you? Lovely, we're finally off the made up track and back to nature. I think this is still the railway, but thankfully they've left this bit as it just to grow over. This is far more pleasant walking. We come to a slightly built up bit now, runs alongside the road, but luckily, like on many sections of this, we've got our own private path. Another distillery here, and another one I've not heard of. Looks to be quite modern, so I assume it's fairly new. Another nice old station building there, but for some reason we don't go past that. We've got to go up the road a bit. Up this way. This is just about the halfway point today, and we get to cross the River Spey. So we've crossed it twice today. So find somewhere now for a midway break, cup of coffee. We're down to a road now, there's no signpost, so I assume we go, oh yeah, we must go across there. I have a little bit of interest coming up here. Dulane, Hort. sign's obviously exactly what it says, just a halt rather than a station. A couple of miles further on and time for another update, but I'm afraid it's much more of the same. This is still the railway, which has been paved over, and there have been occasional glimpses of countryside out to the left, and I think one glimpse of the river since we crossed it, but essentially this is it. Just walking between hedgerows. It's okay, but it's not greatly interesting. We've got a bridge, something to see at last. Variety in the form of a suspension bridge. That's quite nice. If a bit wobbly. And over that direction we can see the River Spey again. And that's got a very nice bridge going over it. We're in the outskirts of Ballindalloch now. I think the high street is just to our right, and then we walk along the back roads parallel to the high street. In days BC, you could have taken a tour around the Walkers shortbread factory here, but all those things are long gone. We're now in a true Scottish country village with the church just there, and of course the pub just there. So every Sunday you could stagger from the church to the pub. From the map it looked like the back of Ballindalloch was going to be a stroll along residential streets, but it's a lovely little parkland. And guess what? The River Spey. Well, that's beautiful. That's what I wish I'd seen a lot more of on this walk. Well, we're still on the railway, but essentially, and quite surprisingly, walking through the town of Ballindalloch is actually the most picturesque part of the whole path today. This is the first cutting on the railway, and up ahead a tunnel. Makes it more interesting. Well, I don't mind that, a nice bit of railway history. We've just crossed under the A95 and it's not long to go now to Craigellachie or Craigellachie, whichever it is, and that'll be the end of today. But as you can see, we're still on the railway and the scenery is still the same. And this is the back of Craigellachie, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to call it Craigellachie. So just a little while, bit further now to Fiddick Park, and I'm done for the day. And I believe Fiddick Park is just through this road bridge. And there we have Fiddick Park, or Fiddick Car Park. This is an official camping site if you want to wild camp, but doesn't look too pleasant. So that's day 4 done. Ballindalloch station to Fiddick Park at Craigellachie. Now that was a strange day, that was. It follows this section of the route follows the railway all of the way, but 90% of it is gravelled over and rolled flat. So essentially it's a 12-mile roadwalk without the traffic. There are a couple of interesting bits along the way, like the stations, but almost all of it is just looking ahead down a tree-lined avenue with the same path all the time. Occasional glimpses to the fields, but not that many. One surprising part was Ballindalloch, which I expected to be a trog through the streets, but that turned out to be the closest we got to the River Spey. If you're one of those people who likes to put headphones in and get your head down and slog through the miles, then this is the section for you. But it's not for me. I'll give that about a 2 out of 5. Tomorrow promises to be a day like yesterday with quite a bit of climbing, so hopefully a bit more variety, and I'm looking forward to that one.